Irwin, what's up, my man?
How's it going, Eric? How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate the time.
Of course, my pleasure, man.
Cool. So, for everyone watching, we're going to walk through Irwin's experience with Agent Launch. He's been 6 months in the program now. So, yeah, why don't you talk to me a little bit about really quickly, like where are you at? What does your team look like? And then we'll get into some of the production we've been able to do together.
Sounds good. So currently we are a team of two, and where we're at within the 6 months, we closed a total of four deals, but three leads. So one of our leads bought two, and we're just going with the process and sharpening up our back end systems and figuring out how to generate more money to put into this ad spend. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
just the business.
Cool. So you got four deals done, and then what's the pipeline looking like moving forward? I mean, you got a decent amount of opportunities in the hopper.
Yeah. There's definitely a decent amount of opportunities. Obviously, it's about consistency and just calling all your leads daily.
Hmm.
The ones that don't answer, you call them until they tell you not to call anymore. You nurture them through emails, and you get your text campaigns going, and you just keep that system going, and eventually you'll close.
Yeah, it's just about providing value, right? Like making sure people know you're there to be a resource and give value. And the more you do that, the better off you're going to be. So, but yeah, like what is your guys' production level? I mean, kind of take me through the journey of joining Agent Launch, getting set up. Like how many leads are we generating a month? I know you have four deals done and some in the pipeline, but walk me through the process of what we've been building.
Right. So, before joining Agent Launch, we had a tough time with lead gen, and we were just trying to figure it out. And then
Hmm.
we decided to give Agent Launch a try, and then off the bat, we realized that the leads that were coming in were pretty high quality. Within our first 2 months, we closed. That's when we closed our first three deals, and that happened within a span of a week. So it was kind of crazy how that happened.
Nice.
And then we had to take a bit of a pause because, as you guys know, real estate takes some time to get paid, and we kind of just threw
Mhm.
all our money in to making this work. And then we finally we got paid from a check, and then we got the ball rolling again. And then the last 2 months we closed another deal, and one other possible deal might go through. So it's definitely been great so far for sure. Um, Definitely
That's
recommend.
awesome. And I know we talked the plans to kind of reinvest and ramp up spend in January, but I mean that's the crux of real estate right there is if you're not someone who's doing, a lot of deals already, the cash flow thing is real. Because if
100.
you look at like if you're a plumber, someone can give you a call and you can run an ad, someone can give you a call that day and be in your house later and get paid. It can happen pretty fast. Real estate, I always say this to people is like a lot of people will market the deals and all this stuff, right? But the reality is it has to be a long game. You have to look at it that way. And you can only truly look back in 12 to 18 months to really analyze the leads you got in a given month. So if you
Yeah,
generate leads today, I mean, you can't really, the 100 leads you might generate this month, you can only look back at that in a year to 18 months to see how many of those converted and what that manifested into and what, like you already had someone buy two, which is
yeah,
pretty cool. Like, what does that look like in 5 years? How many people do
yeah.
you generate leads from that they buy one and then they buy, then they sell and then they buy and they refer you to
Yeah.
someone. And it's just like the lifetime value of a client, which I think a lot of people don't understand is really high in real estate. And that's why I
100%.
think investing in the right lead gen is a no brainer.
100%. I agree. I definitely agree. Definitely a no-brainer.
And I know we've been talking about the sales system because it's like, the longer I've been in business, the more I've realized that it's not an end game. There's no end game. It's always improving and taking in data and feedback and making things better. But walk me through how you guys have been able to do that with the system we've built in your CRM. And obviously, there's a learning curve, but maybe talk through that journey a little bit.
Yeah, so the system that you guys built through Follow Up Boss, I felt was really good. It sends a text, sends a couple of emails out. It does a lot of the work for you. I think the hands off plus your expertise, it's really nice. And we've definitely got some responses through the emails. We've gotten some responses through the text message that you guys have set up. So they're definitely effective. But yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve, but not much. It's pretty well set up. It's very user friendly. Follow Up Boss. It's a CRM I do enjoy using for sure.
Yeah, and it's really about providing value, right? Like those automations and everything are great, but at the end of the day, it's like how much value can you provide to someone is going to determine how likely they are to work with you. Because what I think a lot of people don't understand is people are usually on two or three or four websites. And
Yep.
it's like you got to give them a reason to come back to yours and talk to you. So yeah, man, I mean that's awesome. I know for anyone joining, I'll definitely see everyone around in our program. But yeah, what else would you say to someone? Say, people watching these videos are usually, looking into us or they're on the fence, and totally fair enough. There's a lot of companies out there who don't have winning products. I do really believe that in real estate. But what would you say to someone who's on the fence, considering making a move with Agent Launch?
I would definitely recommend Agent Launch. What they provide for the value, I feel is it's you get a lot of value essentially from what you're paying for what you're paying for. Like the backend system that they have that has the sales course, has the course about how to set up your Google Ads. Then they have calls every single day where you can learn different types of things, whether it's sales systems or your backend, things like that. It's you get a lot of value, and not only do you get a lot of value, their lead gen system is really good, and that's really what you're here for in the first place. So I would definitely recommend just
Yeah,
making
because we have just for anyone to be clear, we do the lead gen and the systems built for you, and then we also have like the training to kind of complement that. So we can support you along the way because as anyone grows, like you're going to need to customize and tweak it to your own liking, right? And it's always good to start with a template, even if they're YouTube coaching. It's like just do it how we say to do it, kind of like follow the structure. And then once you understand the structure, that's when you've earned the right to start manipulating it to your will. Now, obviously, it depends if you're super experienced with sales systems or CRMs or video. But if you're new to this stuff, I think it's always the best practice to just follow the system as it's laid out until you understand it well enough and the why of why we're doing certain things. And then you start kind of tweaking it to your team style, your team structure, et cetera.
100%. I agree.
Cool, man. Well, I don't usually feel like I do more of the talking on these calls, but I feel like I have. But I really appreciate you taking the time to share your experience. I think it's really important in this industry, especially with a lot of the companies that are out there. So, yeah, I just really appreciate it, man. I don't know if you have any final thoughts, but we can wrap it up there.
No, no, aside from my Agent Launch is definitely amazing. So take that leap of faith and make it happen.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Well, thanks for coming on, Irwin. I'll see you around, my man.
Of course, sounds good. Pleasure.